having the freedom to go out and express yourself with sports, and that's what I did. And you know, I saw my brothers and sisters. I mean, I saw my brothers and my cousins play the game, but I felt like football and I had a special connection.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I remember being 11 years old, and I used to be around the house just throwing the ball up to myself, and I remember catching it and saying, you know, one day I'm gonna play pro ball. Yeah, and I believed it. It was clear, it was no doubt, and I held on that until my high school coach told me that he thought I could go to the next level. And I was like, aha, somebody else believes it just like I do. And it gave me the fuel to be able to get recruited and come to Clemson University.
Yeah. Now, you talked about your upbringing in Lamar, South Carolina.
Right.
And then that journey on through high school, having a high school coach who believes in you. I'm a mentor and coach, and I believe into encouraging the biggest dreams within every youth's heart. And oftentimes we may know that maybe the talent may not be there, but if a kid has aspirations, I think it's a coach's duty to at least be honest with them, but at least encourage them enough to pursue. And so what did that mean for you to have that relationship with that coach?
It was amazing. Like I said before, I had a wonderful father, a father that really worked hard for us, who was a janitor in my high school, had his own barbershop, so he worked that on Fridays and Saturdays, and he also was a minister too, pastor in my church. So I had a father that was amazing, but he worked so hard that he really didn't look at sports. I really knew about being a student athlete and what that could be. He kind of just thought it was just all play. My coach saw it a little differently. And Coach Stires, who was about 5'8" or so, blonde hair, blonde mustache, and he would always wear shorts every day. It doesn't matter how cold it got, how warm it was, and he was fair. He really was. He was a guy who he kind of coached it how he saw it.
Yeah.
And I really have to thank him a lot, because I feel like if he wasn't in my life, then maybe I wouldn't have got to the stage that I got to. He was the one who helped me get into camp my senior year in high school, which was before my senior year. He was just there for me. And it almost seems that I had two fathers. You know, I had my real father and I had my football father. And I really needed them both to support me, and they did.
That's amazing, that's amazing. So you talked a little bit about some of your offers coming out of high school.
Right.
Very few.
Very few.
You wasn't the big time 5-star.
No, not at all.
That would now get the NIL money that they get now.
No.
But Levon, if Levon was in that time, he would be a very rich college student.
I don't know, like at first I don't think I would have been, because I might have had like a 1 star.
1 star.
1 star, yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
The 1 star from Lamar.
The 1 star from Lamar, yeah.
Well, you actually came to Clemson and you proved to be much more than that.
Right.
But you didn't have a whole lot of offers. There was Clemson, the University of South Carolina, that we don't like to mention too much around these parts, and so we're grateful he didn't choose the Gamecocks. But there were some other small schools, South Carolina State University and Appalachian State University.
Right.
And I asked you backstage about South Carolina State, because being from Lamar, they draw a lot of those smaller towns, a lot of the kids from those areas who's a little bit more familiar with the HBCU experience.
Right.
And of course, Willie Jeffries, the historic college coach that was there, and I asked you, was that a draw for you?
It was. Well, my sisters and one of my brothers went to South Carolina State. So my very first college game was at South Carolina State. I loved the Bulldogs. I did. My brothers and sisters would bring back the yearbook. I would go to the football section and I'd see those guys, man. And I was enamored with South Carolina State. But they really didn't recruit me that hard. I think they thought that I was getting recruited by Clemson in South Carolina. not to recruit me, but Coach Jeffries wasn't there.
Okay.
And I think if Coach Jeffrey was there, I would have really considered going to South Carolina State. But once I took that visit to Clemson, and how Miles Aldridge, the linebacker coach at the time, and how he recruited me, and really he was fair about it. You know, he's like, you know, I'm going to offer you an opportunity. I'm not going to promise you anything. And I kind of like that. I like the fact that he wasn't trying to sell me. You know, it was like he was trying to give me an opportunity. And it was mind-blowing for me, man. I mean, my dreams was right there, and for him to come to my house first and offer me a scholarship in front of my parents, who I think my parents were kind of clueless what was going on,
Right.
you know, but it was cool that he came, and